Oh, I'm thrilled to share this room and the stage with so many inspirational women and people here today. Considering the intensity of the program and so many impressions, and that maybe some of you are sitting thinking about, oh, I have to remember that email and to send that. I would like to start my talk by inviting you all to close your eyes, and together we will take 3 conscious breaths. We will inhale deep and exhale together. I don't know about you guys, but I could feel the energy change in the room. Are you a person who consciously live your life, taking full responsibility of your actions, considering based on your own values? Now, if you ask the same questions, do you do business consciously? Are you negotiating your contracts based with your values in mind? And do you speak consciously to your employees, like as constructively as you speak to your own kids? Are you aware if you create from your heart or from your ego? I was born in Sweden. Swedish mother, Spanish father, excellent combination, made by passion. And I consider myself being a heart person. I was very fortunate because my mom, she was talking to me already when I was inside the belly. And she was saying to me, my dear child, stay true to yourself and to your heart, and you will be able to achieve and create whatever you want in life. So I had a pretty good programmation coming out from her. And as a kid, I was very much connected with my higher self. I was co-creating with Source, God, whatever you want to call it, from an early stage. And then navigating through life, I stayed true to my heart. And thinking back on some conscious heart decisions that I took, I want to share with you. For example, I got that promotion, top job in Stockholm in my late 20s. I was newly divorced, I needed money to buy new furniture and move into my new flat. And all of a sudden I was thinking, but this is really making me feeling empty. It's so superficial, everything. So I took another decision. I resigned that job and took the money and bought a ticket to Asia, to travel Asia alone, and visiting a Buddhist monk monastery, practicing Vipassana for 1 month. That was life-changing for me. I felt really connected to my heart, going back home. And then I was offered a job in New York. Yeah, of course. I love challenges. I love traveling. So I took the job, moved to New York, to find myself in the hands of a super narcissistic, maniatic boss. I mean, cut the story short, I had to escape from New York. It was like in a movie. But I took that conscious decision that I will not stay to whatever cost. I was not going to be happy there. So the relief was bigger than the disappointment when I came home to Stockholm. Then I started in the corporate travel industry, where I have stayed until this very moment. And it took me to Barcelona. And it was love at first sight with the city. On the second time, even more, on the third time, I took a decision to resign my job in Stockholm and start a new life from scratch here in Barcelona. And so I did, one of my better decisions. And I'm truly a heart person. I mean, I'm married for the second time. First time I was married to the man in my life. And the second time now, I'm married to the woman in my life. 18 years and counting. Just for you to understand that I really follow my heart. And I wanted to start my own business, and so I did, after being fired from a Spanish narcissistic macho man. But I realized he did me a favor, because if I would have liked it, I would have stayed and maybe would be comfortable and not starting my own business. So I follow my heart and start my own business. And there is where that endless profit chase started. I started to be consumed of my own dream. Now it doesn't move. It's there. Ding. Ding. The magic touch. I don't have it. Can you move it for me? Thank you. This thing about staying connected with your higher self. I was losing the track of that. But thinking I'm a heart person, I was not really considering it. And I was asked, but are you happy, Jessika? Well, what do you mean? I don't understand the question. I have success, I have revenue. But I was not really happy, was I? This running all the time, just thinking money, money, money to be able to pay the employees and the bills and the... So I started to create, not ease, I started to create dis-ease. And boom, diagnosed with cancer. A big, bad tumor in my colon. And I have felt this, that was some strange thing with my energy. But for 3 years, I was not listening to the signal of my body. The body never lies. But I was so disconnected from my higher self. I was living an external life. I was not looking inward. I didn't have time. I was running such a high pace, and I didn't reflect to slow down. So the body actually helped me. Boom. As you can see, I'm standing here, I'm cured. But to go through it was also life-changing. But being cured now, looking back, it was also something, a big plus that changed my life for the better. I started to reflect, introspection, and starting to look inside me. What am I looking for? Who am I? And who are we? I mean, in all this networking we are doing, if you would present yourself without saying your name, your work, or where you're from, what would you say? Think about it for 2 seconds. We can try later on the networking. I would say that I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. And so I started to look into therapies, and of course I went to the toughest challenge, psychoanalysis, 4 years, a labyrinth, a master in myself. Yeah, I learned a lot about myself, but I was not getting that connection. I took a license in coaching because I'm super interested in other people's journeys too, and other people's journeys add on to my own. So I did that parallel to my corporate travel events creating, and but I didn't find the meaning in these event things. So I took on a path where I have to reinvent myself and change the focus. How can I use my experience and all my contacts in another way? Looking up north again, the Nordic market, I switched into Nordic innovation to attract talent to Barcelona ecosystem, and today I'm helping and establish conscious brands here. I found my why. I want to be part of the solution of a sustainable life on Earth. And my multiple purposes is that I want to uplift humanity through inner development. And that sounds big and grand, yeah, but I will not do it alone. That's why we have each other. So I'm implementing these principles for the companies, the conscious brands that are coming here. I have little time, so I will not go into it too much. I've created a workshop and retreat that I called Her Story, His Story, Our Story, depending on the constellation, if it is only women or men or a mixed group. And I am not business coaching anymore. I call it consciousness coaching. I'm guiding and mentoring entrepreneurs to link their purpose to business today. And as I was saying yes to this conference, I was thinking, my God, it just came to me. I need to do a podcast, calling it Her Story. I'm reaching out to all of you who wants to share their story, who has done this internal shift, to be my guest on the podcast. So please, reach out back to me. Another thing that I want to quickly tell you about, another project that I am involved in. 2 minutes left. The global goals you know about, the UN global goals. Have anybody heard of inner development goals? And so it is a movement, a global movement, it was born in Sweden, that if the global goals, if they are the what, the challenges that we are facing today, this is the how to actually solve them, because we have to go first in. Inner growth leads to outer change. And they have created a framework based on 5 dimensions: being, thinking, relating, collaborating, acting, with a skill set, 23 skill set. It's an open source, and there are many coaches here. So I invite you to have a look about this inner development goals. So I launched, come back. Inner Development Goals Business Hub in Barcelona, together with some really strong partners. They are all implementing the inner development in their corporate journey. And on each event we have, one of them is sharing, showcasing how they do this in practical. And it's actually mind-blowing that it's going on. So please come to our events if you want to be part of this platform, because global change starts with self. And inner growth leads to outer change. And I truly believe that the future is conscious. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessika.